So if we're doing a matter here of, is this parliamentary inquiry? Is that what this is?
I've made a parliamentary inquiry, so I'm not burning my time on something that I thought felt like a cheap shot to say he's out of compliance when in fact he's not.
If you're tired of political theater overshadowing the truth, you need to see this. Today, a Senate hearing took a sharp turn when Senator Thom Tillis called out what he described as a cheap shot against Federal Reserve nominee Kevin Warsh. Before we break it down, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for clear, no-nonsense political analysis you won't get anywhere else.
Tillis.
Mr. Chair, before my time starts, can I make a parliamentary inquiry?
Certainly.
I want to make sure that we get this right because I'm not an attorney, but I think it's pretty important to suggest that according to Mr. Warsh, he has signed an agreement that is in compliance provided that he executes the agreement.
Correct.
So we should not have into the record that he is before us out of compliance because you stipulated that what Senator Warren said was a first of a kind here, but he is not out of compliance. He has agreement that if he executes, will be in compliance. That's why he's properly before us. And I just want to make sure for the record that that is clear.
Yeah, very clear. Let me just say it. I'm going to reiterate what you just said, but I was writing it down myself. The Office of Government Ethics has entered into an agreement with Kevin Warsh that he has up until 90 days after confirmed to divest of his assets.
So the word, I mean, to non-attorneys here, I heard someone say he's before us out of compliance, and that's why I checked with the staff to be absolutely certain. He is properly before us. He will be in compliance if he executes agreement that addresses the concerns that have been presented by some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. I just want to confirm for the record that that is in fact accurate.
So if we're doing a matter here of, is this parliamentary inquiry? Is that what this is?
I've made a parliamentary inquiry, so I'm not burning my time on something that I thought felt like a cheap shot to say he's out of compliance when in fact he's not.
Then I'd like to ask the other question, and that is, have we seen this agreement? Do we have any way to verify that, in fact, these sales will occur if we have no idea what's in them and no one has told? And let's do remember the law for a minute. The Fed, unlike other parts of government, do not have a 90-day you can be out of compliance. Fed law is explicit that you cannot own any portion of a financial interest in a bank.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, excuse me for interrupting. Senator,
now I'm going to let the attorneys take over.
Are we going to all get extra time here?
No.
I'd like extra 3 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I just, for the record, and the only reason I say
that was a parliamentary inquiry, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. But,
okay.
Mr. Chair, the reason I mentioned that is because you had stipulated it. I don't think you meant it this way, but you as a chair said that this is the first of a kind of someone being out of compliance. I don't think you meant that. I wanted to make sure it was clear for the record.
Well, let me just be very clear again. The career ethics professionals were the ones that sent Mr. Warsh's signed paperwork to this committee's chief clerk. They would not have done so if they did not come to an ethics agreement with Mr. Warsh. Mr. Kennedy, Senator Kennedy does raise a good point. We are going to stick to our timeline, and I appreciate you raising the point of how long an inquiry can go on, and that does not buy you more time unless, of course, we all decide we want more time. And then I would rule on that, and I would rule against it.
What we're watching here is a classic example of how narratives can get twisted in Washington right out of the gate. Senator Tillis steps in with a parliamentary inquiry. He's not there to grandstand. He's there to set the record straight. The claim floating around was that Kevin Warsh was out of compliance with ethics rules, but Tillis pushes back hard, pointing out something critical. Warsh has already entered into an agreement with the Office of Government Ethics. Now here's the key detail. Warsh isn't violating anything. He has up to 90 days after confirmation to divest certain assets. That's standard procedure. That's the law. And Tillis makes it clear this nominee is properly before the committee. But then comes the real tension. Tillis directly challenges the narrative pushed by Senator Elizabeth Warren, calling the accusation a cheap shot. And frankly, from a conservative perspective, that matters, because if we're going to have serious confirmation hearings, they should be based on facts, not political framing. Then Tillis raises an even more important issue: transparency. He asks a simple question: has anyone actually seen the ethics agreement? If not, how can anyone confidently claim non-compliance? That's not obstruction, that's accountability. He also points out something most people miss. The Federal Reserve operates under stricter rules than many other government agencies. You can't hold financial interests in banks, period. So this isn't just about optics, it's about legal standards. Now the chair steps in to keep things moving, reminding everyone that ethics officials wouldn't have forwarded Warsh's paperwork unless everything was in order. And that's a fair point, but here's the bigger takeaway. At the end of the day, hearings like this should be about truth, transparency, and the rule of law, not political point scoring. If you agree that facts should come first in Washington, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay informed. More breakdowns like this are coming, and you don't want to miss them. This moment wasn't just about Kevin Warsh. It was about how quickly serious discussions can turn into political attacks, and how important it is to push back when the facts don't line up.